nearly across the country, across the board. Under Donald Trump, we were averaging a couple million new homes that were being built every single year. That's not the case right now. And just the one kicker number, I'm glad your dad was able to do well, but the average interest rate under Trump was 2%. Now it's 10%. So to get a mortgage, a 30-year mortgage, you guys are getting slaughtered. I mean, you're going to make the bank a lot of money, right? And so right now, if you want to go buy a home here in Denton, they're going to run a credit score. They'll say, okay, how much are you making a year? Let's pretend you guys out of college, you do well, and you are earning $90,000 a year. Can't own a home. $105,000 a year. Can't own a home. $110,000 a year. Can't own a home. You guys understand how insane that is? A lot of you guys probably thought, if I'm able to earn six figures, I can get my piece of the American dream. The numbers don't reflect that. And that's according to Zillow.com. And that doesn't count all the other expenses you have to pay for, which are more expensive. And so I'm glad your family did well, but the data shows most people.
Woke dreams meet harsh reality. Trump built homes, Biden built barriers.
Killed, and another human life being killed by gun violence. Why is that any different?
Again, it's not a matter of the value of the human life being different. It's equally as evil and tragic and horrific and disgusting when people kill fully formed children who are outside the womb. My point is that the act that connects to the killing of the children is not connected to my position on guns. The act that connects to the killing of unborn babies is connected to the legalization of abortion. The reason that I want people to be able to exercise their Second Amendment rights is to shoot pieces of like the people who go into schools and shoot up children. Right? I have two kids. They both go to a Jewish school, which means they are on the target list for somebody out there. Right? Jewish schools are disproportionately targeted, unfortunately, in the United States. I went to a Jewish school when I was in high school. There were bomb threats legitimately every couple of months. In 1999, there was a white supremacist who drove by our Jewish day school, saw an armed guard outside, proceeded to drive away, went to the West Valley JCC, and shot up the West Valley JCC. The reason that I'm in favor of gun rights is because I want that armed guard outside carrying the gun to dissuade people from going.
Ben Shapiro schools a woke mind on why the Second Amendment isn't just a right, it's a lifesaver.
Hello, my name is Lindsey Graham, and I am a cat. Meow, meow. I'm not a woman dressed as a cat. I am a cat. By show of hands, I'm curious, how many of you believe and confess that I'm a cat? Great. By show of hands, I'm curious, how many of you believe that your child or a child from this school would believe that I'm actually a cat? No one. You are right. Why? Because you are not stupid, and these children are not stupid. Truth prevails over imagination. Reality exists. Discernment is innate and something we are biologically wired to have. One look at me and you know this to be true. I am a woman posing as a cat. You may also think correctly that if I truly believe I'm a cat, I have a mental disorder. If I suffer from a mental disorder and if I am unable to discern reality, am I safe to be around children? Would you put me in charge of making critical decisions about the safety and well-being of children? And about the direction of their education when I cannot even discern truth from fiction? Confession. I'm not actually a cat, guys, just because I say I am. You've not agreed to or committed to addressing me as a cat simply because I demand it. No tail, whiskers, or outfit makes me a cat, just like no lipstick, high heels, or long hair makes him a man, a woman. It is just as biologically impossible for me to become a cat as it is for a man to be a woman. Do you believe that the actions of a grown man playing dress up as a woman affects the students and staff positively or negatively? A public school is not the place for social experiments in altered realities or gender ideologies. It is not the place to celebrate a grown man with a mental illness, dressing as a woman and teaching kids lies. What you're actually doing is worse than just lying to our kids. You're forcing them to be participants in your lie, in your charade. I ask you again, am I a cat? And if you say no, then the mindset must be aligned with your discernment across the board. By allowing a falsity to be displayed.
A woman in cat cosplay claws into woke school policies, exposing absurdity with style.
Good evening to the most famous school board in America. I was happy to help expose you guys and your actions. There is lots of good teachers in our town. They aren't well represented by you guys. The level to which you have gone to ignore the actions you have taken is astounding to me. You forced boys into my daughter's bathroom and then advocate to vote for the very lady who forced that to happen. So you obviously have not reversed your position on that. You still think that boys should follow my daughter in a bathroom. Does anybody up there have a daughter? Would it be okay if I followed her into a bathroom? Anybody okay with that? They're in our libraries and drag queen teachers, and you guys are in charge of it. And I'm not going to stop until each and every one of you is removed. You have shown that you're not going to change course. And I'm not going to stop. And I would encourage you to step down now. Clearly, you are defending defenseless positions. Putting a boy in my daughter's bathroom is crazy. And thinking that a boy can be a girl simply for saying it is also crazy. We fought you guys to get it and got a state law passed.
A dad takes on the school board, tearing apart woke bathroom policies with relentless logic.
Israel is justified in killing civilians because of the acts of committed by Hamas. Why isn't Hamas justified in doing what it did? Because Israel is keeping 13,000 children. It has tried them in military courts. Since the establishment of Israel, 55,000 Palestinian homes have been bulldozed. So why isn't Hamas justified in doing what it did if we use your logic?
So I'm going to answer your question, then I'm going to ask you a question if you don't mind. Is that all right? So my answer is that Israel would not be justified in killing Palestinian civilians because of the actions of terrorists. Israel would be justified in attempting to kill us, and civilian casualties are a cost of war. That is just a reality of life. During World War II, there were 70,000 Brits who died during the Blitz bombing, and there were 2 million Germans who died, civilians who died during World War II. And I don't see a lot of monuments in Britain because of the 2 million civilians who died in Germany. The costs of war are brutal, they're terrible, they're horrifying. There's a vast difference in moral scope between deliberately going into a civilian area and murdering everyone you can find and trying to kill a deliberately hiding beneath a civilian area, hiding their rockets in civilian areas, starving their own people. There is a vast difference. Okay, so now I get to ask my question, if you don't mind. So my question is, do you believe that there is a moral difference between Hamas going into, for example, Kfar Aza and murdering entire families, and Israel attempting to target and accidentally hitting civilians?
Israel is effectively doing the same because Gaza is the most densely populated region in the world. There are 15,000 people per square mile.
So does Hamas get immunity because they're there? So Hamas gets immunity. So
Israel has killed 3,500 children in the past 3 weeks. That's more children. That's more children than have died in conflicts around the world in each of the last 4 years.
So just to be clear, your logic is that if you're located in a densely populated community and you hide behind civilians, you are now immune.
Where are the children meant to go?
So you're immune. Okay.
Ben Shapiro cuts through emotional rhetoric, confronting a pro-Palestine stance with cold, hard facts and ruthless questioning.
I'm a libertarian socialist, which is close
great.
enough.
So it's an inherent contradiction, a libertarian socialist.
If you want to believe that, yeah.
Explain to me how one could be a socialist and also a libertarian.
So as a libertarian, I believe in people's personal freedoms, and I think that socialism is the best way to do that. That's not really what I came here to talk about, though.
No, but it's like being a vegan meat eater. It doesn't make any sense, right? It's like saying, well, I want freedom here, but I also want the government to control every part of my life. So explain to me how a vegan meat eater would work.
So, okay. A vegan meat eater does not work, obviously.
But that's but a libertarian socialist saying that I value liberty, but I don't value liberty. So it's an inherent contradiction. So you got to pick one.
That's not what socialism means.
Socialism, by definition, means the eradication of personal agency and freedom, the elimination of the property, the elimination of religious liberty and religious practice, and also government ownership, or the ownership of the means of production. By the way, don't believe me, it's literally in the Communist Manifesto and Das Kapital. Those are the aims of Marxism and socialism.
Yeah, the Communist Manifesto actually starts with, I, Karl Marx, believe that communism is whenever you can't pray to God or something. That's not what it's about, obviously.
Well, no, but he did say that religion was the opiate of the masses. And he said that the goal of communism is to eradicate people's attachment to religious assembly.
I came here to talk about like voter registration.
Cool. No,
and about like.
No, we can do that. You introduced yourself with an inherent contradiction. So it's like gays for Palestine, vegan meat eaters. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I'm also for Palestine, but that's
fine.
That's neither here nor there.
Great.
I don't want to get.
Charlie Kirk dismantles a self-proclaimed libertarian socialist, exposing the contradictions with sharp wit and relentless reasoning. So from housing woes to global showdowns, woke fantasies collide with reality's hammer. Their lofty ideals sound great, until facts and logic rip them apart. Stick around, hit subscribe, and watch common sense shred the chaos, one brutal truth at a time.